All right, now we're back with a high noon edition for this Wednesday afternoon, the 22nd of December, year of our Lord 2021. I say part two because we got knocked off the air. I apologize. We had about a 10-minute break there. Maybe get some more people coming in here, but as of right now, not so much. I do apologize, though. Hold on. Let's see what we can go. I have no idea of knowing how far I was. I have no way of knowing what was missed and what wasn't missed. I was on a rant. I was ranting and I was going and I was blah, 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 and all that good stuff. And, and suddenly I looked down and I saw that we were offline. So I've no idea what we covered. We're not going to, long story short, United States Army seems to have come up with a COVID fix-all vaccine. The United States Army creates single vaccine against all COVID and SARS variants, researchers say. Within weeks, scientists at the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research expect to announce that they've developed a vaccine that is effective against COVID-19 and all its variants, even Omicron, as well as previous SARS origin viruses that have killed millions of people worldwide. The achievement is the result of almost 2 years of work on the virus. The Army lab received... Okay, so fine. The United States Army, the government, we got in there. No more pharma. This is ours. We created this one. The Army, the government. And I guess my question is that going to make people feel better? I don't know. I don't know if I mean, at least if you believe that the government is all evil and, controlled by lizard people, overlords, and all of that kind of stuff, if that is in your wheelhouse of things that you operate under, assuming are true, if that's you, then yeah, you're probably not going to want to take this from the Army. You would probably more likely take it from a pharmaceutical company. Now, my issue with pharmaceutical companies are, they're just about the money. So, but again, if you're of the mind that you think that, deep state, all that stuff, then you don't trust the government at all. So your whole thing there is, well, yeah, but they're just trying to mind control me. They're population control. They want to kill 1/5 of the planet. I don't want to be one of them people they kill off. This is all a part of that master plan that the lizard people, if that's your thing, you're not going to like the Army. I tend to, being someone who's in the middle, I tend to be more like, okay, so the pharmaceutical companies, they're just trying to make money. And they're not going to make money if everybody starts dropping dead from this vaccine that they created. So I feel safer with that. I mean, I also would trust the Army, but, I'm because I'm not a crazy person who believes in all that lizard people nonsense. But that's it. So congratulations, United States Army, right there. Walter Reed Research Institute of Medicine and things that blow up. They did a good one. They created a new vaccine that is supposed to be better than all the other ones because it does everything. All right. Cole Beasley. Let's get to why Cole Beasley is trending. I wanted to do this with E because he is the resident Buffalo Bills fan. Cole Beasley is out for the Buffalo Bills. They have what could be described as the most important game of the season coming up. I think they're one game behind the New England Patriots. They are playing the New England Patriots this week. Big game. I mean, this is a massive rivalry, a rivalry that has, and this is why I wanted E to be a part of this. The rivalry between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots goes back 20 years, and it's all one-sided. It is entirely Tom Brady and Bill Belichick crushing the hopes and dreams of every Buffalo Bill football fan that there is. That's been going on for decades. It's very similar. This is why I have a problem with E and me arguing about our teams. What he has experienced at the hands of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady the past couple of decades, I, as a Bear fan, have experienced at the hands of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. It's the same thing. We're simpatico. We shouldn't be arguing about this stuff. We're both like beaten puppies here. But, the Bills were the hot pick for everybody coming into the season. They're supposed to be their year. Oh, look, Tom Brady's now gone from New England. Bill Belichick, he can't do it without Brady. This Mac Jones isn't going to be any good. Besides, it's all about the Bills. It's all about Josh, and it's all about whoever. I don't know. They got a good team. That's all. That's all about Josh Allen. Let's just leave it at that. But no, something has happened. Bill Belichick got magic down there in New England. So this is a huge game going in. They got to go into Foxborough. I believe it's the Bills traveling because I think the Patriots just beat them 2 weeks ago at home. So in Buffalo. So yeah, I think they got to travel. Biggest game of the year. Cole Beasley, one of their best players. SMU's own. Dallas boy, Cole Beasley will not be playing because Cole Beasley wouldn't get vaccinated. And now he's got COVID. Now, no, Pugs, you're not being honest because people who are vaccinated are getting it as well. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. People who are vaccinated are also falling into NFL COVID protocols. But here's the thing, because they are vaccinated, they don't have to sit out as long. Cole Beasley is now going to miss probably the next 2 games until he clears, simply because he's not vaxxed. The players who test hot, who have COVID and have to go into COVID protocols, who also are vaccinated, they'll only miss 1 week. They'll only be, if even that, if they're clean, if they give good, tests where they're not positive anymore, they can play on Sunday. That's the difference between teammates who are vaccinated and teammates who are not vaccinated. Whatever your issue is. I mean, the question becomes, is it more important to be a good teammate or is it more important to be a freedom fighter? Is that because I seem to remember most people not liking when football players, do anything that takes away from their effort within the team. I seem to remember, people being drummed out of the league for thinking things that, shut up and play is always one. So here we have a situation where Cole Beasley, instead of being a good teammate and just doing what everybody else does because this situation could happen and he's a very good player and he needs to be available for his team in the biggest game of the year, he could have just gotten jabbed. Could have just gotten jabbed like everybody else. Just get it. He gets it done, and now he's available to play. But he wasn't. He wasn't thinking of his teammates. He was being defiant. He was being, this is American. He was giving you that whole thing, and I'm not comfortable with it. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have played this year. Maybe you shouldn't have allowed that team to think that you were going to be a dependable member of it because you made a choice early in the year that told them you were not going to be a dependable member. I understand what the rules are, that if I pop hot and I'm unvaccinated, I'm going to go into an immediate 10-day protocol. I understand all of this stuff. But I'm going to do it because, I just got to do me. And that was the choice he made. And now Bills fans are so pissed at him. And it's so funny because this is exactly the scenario that people said back in June or July or whenever it was. The scenario was, well, what happens if you can't play in a big game because of this? Most people were like, oh, that's probably not going to happen because it isn't happening right now. And I can't see, 2 feet in front of my face. And it happened. Exactly what people said was going to happen with Cole Beasley is happening this weekend. So he's a great player, man. They really need him. He's like Josh Allen's favorite target. And now he's going to be going. Just be a teammate. Be a team player. Well, not when it comes to my body. Oh, stop it. You're a football player. You take shots of all kinds of stuff that you have no idea what it is. You take fistfuls of pain pills. Until recently anyway. Stop it. Stop pretending like this is the one selective area of your life where you're going to be incredibly thoughtful and you're going to give a shit about what's going into your body. You're being political. You're being silly. That's all this is. Again, I go back to Eric Clapton. He gets vaccinated and he says he can't play guitar anymore because of the vaccination. His fingers don't work. It's not that he was a junkie for 50 years and now he's an 80-year-old man and that he's also an alcoholic and all of these. It's not that. It's the vaccination that did it. Stop it. I don't care anymore. I've said this before. I've said this now. I got the booster. I got incredibly sick. I hated it. I don't want to get another one. Right now, in the eyes of everybody who decides, I am fully vaxxed. I got the booster and I got the 2 shots. I'm fine. I don't give a shit if you're vaxxed or not. I don't. This is not people like, doesn't it make you mad that I'm like, no, it doesn't. This is their choice. As I said before, we attempt to live in a civilized society, but that's just aspirational. We don't actually live in a civilized society. We live in a society that, for the most part, we agree to play by the rules. But it's filled with people who are not playing by the rules. It's filled with people who are not. But because we like the overall structure of the thing, we're not running down the streets banging people over the head with sticks. We're not afraid of fire. I mean, we're pretty civilized. We like the bare bones aspects of it. We wish it could be better, but we have to understand that it's never going to be perfect because humanity isn't perfect. Human beings, free will, man. The whole free will thing is never going to have everybody agreeing to what the same vision of utopia is. That's just going to happen. So me, to all my unvaccinated friends, and I got a lot of unvaccinated friends, and I'd never bring it up. We never talk about it. It's just not something that, I think that anybody should discuss in close company. Just leave it alone. I don't care. If you're not vaccinated yet, you're not getting vaccinated. And that's fine with me. Can we move on? I'm still going to wear my mask. I got my boosters. I feel fine. The most important people in the world to me have both already got it. So they're walking around with the antibodies. So that's I feel a little better about that. What are we going to do? We got to stop this civil war. We got to stop this. I don't care anymore. It's not going to happen. But I want to be mad because people aren't getting vaxxed. You bitch. Stop complaining about the people who aren't getting vaxxed. That horse has left the barn. What? The only thing that you have left at your disposal is putting them all in jail and rounding them up. And is that where you're suggesting we go? Stop it. Yes, they're bad teammates. They are the Terrell Owens of American citizens. That's what they are. But you know what? Some teams needed Terrell Owens. When he was on, he was great. So yes, these people are what they are. Just leave it alone. Stop it. We're not going to change their mind. You're just arguing for the sake of your own ego. Well, I am going to once again explain to everybody in the room why I did the right thing and why that somehow makes me morally superior to the rest of you. Stop doing that. Nobody cares. Now you're the asshole. Yes, they are the assholes. Yes, they are the Terrell Owens. But so what? Your dad's probably an asshole. What, do you hate your dad? Your best friend from high school growing up is probably an asshole now. So what? So what? He's still your friend. He's your asshole. We can all do this. We can all just move forward. Do you wear your mask like I do? You got yourself vaxxed up. That's fine. I don't go to movies anymore. You know what? Luckily, this entire change in lifestyle that we've all become accustomed to, where we're staying in more, it coincides with me getting old and not wanting to go out anyway. So it works for me. So that's my entire take on it. You young kids, though, I don't know what they're doing in bars. I don't know what they're doing in concerts. I don't know, wearing masks. I don't know. I'm not doing much of that stuff. Went out to a very nice dinner last night. Very nice dinner. It was packed. A lot of people were still wearing masks. Some people weren't. You know what? It was the best dinner I've had in a long time. Good company, fun people, conversation, my kid, other kids. I didn't sit there and stew and be like, I can't believe this person isn't wearing a mask. Look at that person. That person just coughed. I'm not being that idiot. I'm not being that jerk off. I'm just being, it's Christmas. Whatever. I'm vaxxed. When I move through the crowd and go to the bathroom, I'll put my mask back on, but I'm not going to flaunt it like this is my flag. Like, look at me in my mask being superior to you because I care more about others. Stop that too. Just be discreet. Don't flaunt it. Don't be a dick about it. Leave it alone. The people who are not vaxxed are not going to be vaxxed. All right, this is a fun one. Okay, speaking of, all right, let's talk a little bit about the people who don't want to get vaxxed. So, we here in Dallas, we seem to now be, and it just couldn't be better for me. Quite honestly, I find this to be just such a stroke of good luck. We here in North Texas, Dallas, we've become the Rome. We've become the Vatican for QAnon. This is now the capital of QAnon Nation. Oh, I couldn't be happier. But just because it's close for me. I can see some of this stuff. I can get involved in some of the nuttiness, and then I can just go back. I don't have to sleep on a friend's couch. I don't have to get a hotel room in some shitty, town. I don't have to go to Jacksonville and stay at a super. No, I can attend. I can observe. I can enjoy with my mask, ready to fight. I can do all that stuff, and then I can just, come home and sleep in my own bed. So QAnon choosing Dallas as its Vatican is, working out pretty well for me. I see this as being fun. However, listen to this story. This story came today. So there was this great big QAnon Fest convention kind of a deal last month. And, it featured Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, Eric Trump. It was the Reawaken America Conference in Dallas. And a month ago or something. And now everybody's sick. Everybody that was at, there's a whole bunch of people that attended that thing that now have, coronavirus. Well, do they? Because here's what they're telling everybody. They didn't all get these symptoms that are almost always associated with coronavirus. The sniffling, the shortness of breath, the coughing, the dry cough, the aches and pains, the constant fever. They didn't get all this from the big super spreader event that they attended with all their QAnon friends who don't believe in science and don't wear masks anywhere. They didn't get that. They were the victims of an anthrax attack. That's what they're claiming. They're saying that this particular convention, the Reawaken America conference, all the people who are now sick with coronavirus symptoms, that's not coronavirus. Those are simply reactions to the anthrax attack that apparently the liberal lizard people struck against their group. A group of unvaccinated people who attended a huge conspiracy conference in Dallas earlier this month all became sick in the days after the event with symptoms like coughing, shortness of breath, and fever. Instead of blaming the global COVID pandemic, however, the conspiracy theorists think they were attacked with anthrax. The far-right conspiracy claim began after a dozen people spent time together in a confined space at the Reawaken America tour event in Dallas over the weekend of December the 10th. And the fact that this was likely a COVID outbreak and super spreader event has been almost entirely ignored. Anthrax symptoms include, this is a doctor now, anthrax symptoms include fever, chest pain, shortness of breath, cough, headache, fatigue. In other words, many of the same... anthrax symptoms include fever, chest pain, shortness of breath, cough, headache, fatigue. In other words, many of the symptoms of COVID-19. But the Reawaken America tour features anti-vaxxers and COVID skeptics, so it'd be embarrassing if a bunch of people on their tour caught COVID, which is what he's saying. And then he goes on to say, I'm not saying there wasn't an anthrax attack on the green room at the Reawaken America stop in Dallas. But if a bunch of unvaxxed people who were in close contact with each other all start suffering from shortness of breath, cough, and fever, anthrax would not be my first guess. So that's what's happening. So the QAnon people, they didn't just start spreading around COVID, which is what is going around. No, they were attacked by anthrax. I'm sure they're looking for suspects. You can't deal with that. You cannot. This is why we just have to work around them, folks. The civilized society. How are you going to have a conversation with somebody who attends like a massive event like that and then gets all the symptoms of COVID, but refuses to admit it's COVID because it's more satisfying to themselves to just say we were the victims of an anthrax attack? Oh no, it's not COVID. That other thing, that's gone. That's not a real thing. You can't. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, these are the same people that believe that JFK is still alive and coming. I mean, my God. So stop arguing with crazy. Stop trying to convince crazy that you're going to get through to them with your logic because you're such a brilliant person and a wonderful negotiator. Stop it. They're crazy. You got to just work around them. You got to just be like, that is fascinating. Oh my God. What a story you just told me. Can I get you another drink? I'm going to the bar. That's how you do it. It's the only way to do it. It is the only way to do it. Unless you want to be the asshole. Because at this point, if you're not recognizing crazy and understand how to work around crazy, come on, we all come from big family, right? Everybody's been around a big family. There's crazy people in the family that show up for every event. Flat out, completely insane, crazy people. Sometimes they're on medication. Sometimes they've never been diagnosed, but everybody knows that they're fucking crazy. This is not something that we are rookies with. We can deal with crazy people. We deal with crazy people at work. You live in an apartment building. You've dealt with a crazy neighbor. And if you're of, any sort of evolved nature, you didn't get into a knife fight with them. It didn't devolve to that level. Maybe you didn't like them. Maybe it was awkward, but come on. We work around crazy all the time. Oh, Pugs, but you're not helping much. You're calling them crazy. Well, they are crazy. I'm not willing to go that. I am willing to hang out with crazy. My best friends are crazy. They just happens to be in other areas, not this particular. They don't match up exactly in this one. But people are crazy. And they're either going to get the help that they need or they're not. And you know what? up until about 30 years ago, people were just crazy undiagnosed all over the place. Now every little thing is diagnosed with some sort of, affliction, and then there's a pill for it. So, we've moved into that area. But man, I say this all the time. Uh, when I was in grade school, mid 70s, when I was second grade, first grade, whatever, however old I was back then, the mid 70s, late 80s or early 80s, something like that, when I was a little kid in school, there were just weird kids. There was just a weird kid. That kid's weird. That kid, that's, Kenny. Kenny's a weird kid. I used Kenny again. I hope Kenny's not in the chat room because he's not going to. And they were fine. And they were, you know what? They were treated like the weird kid. So they probably didn't have the best existence, especially in like gym class and stuff. But they were one of the group. They were just the oddball, the weird. That kid's weird. I don't know. How come you don't hang around with Tommy anymore? He got weird. I don't know. What do you mean weird? He just, like, he sits there and he mumbles to himself. He just counts to numbers. He's just crazy. He's a little odd. That's all they were. They were just odd. Now today, they're on the spectrum, and we've explained. My point is that the whole world is filled with those that are not exactly like us, that see the world differently. Their brain works a little bit differently. We used to just casually refer to them as crazy, but they got their things. We all got our things, and you don't want to beat them up. We didn't just beat up those weird kids. They were a part of the group. They hung out. Everybody gets on their bike in the summertime and they ride, we're going to go ride to the creek. There's always one weird kid there. It's not like they were shunned. We dealt with weird. We've dealt with weird our whole life. All right, that's enough. But the QAnon weird, that's like a whole new kind of fun weird. And I used to, Pugs, this seems like a bit of a different take on QAnon than you used to have. It is different. And you know who sort of opened my eyes to it is James Parker. I used to get angry at them because I couldn't believe that there were people that were being indoctrinated into it. And then James Parker kind of just explained to me, he's like, these are not serious people. Why are you getting yourself all verklempt about them? These are just weirdos. These are no different than furries. These are no different than people who go to cosplay conventions. This is just, people are strange. People have their lanes. You just, don't take them seriously. They cannot hurt you. And that's what I'm banking on now. I'm banking on that they can't hurt me. Now, I know the more rational part of me goes, but they got a couple of them in the United States Congress. Yeah, but they're not important. They're totally not. They got no power. Seriously. This is why I always laugh when people rant and rave about AOC or the other members of the squad. They don't chair any committees. They don't have any real power. They are all lesser Congress people who have only been around for like 10 years. They don't even have like a network of friends within the system that they could manipulate. They're just like flashpoints. The squad. They're not important. They don't have any kind of power when it comes to the greater Democratic caucus. And the same thing, I hope, can be said for the Marjorie Taylor Greens. Although I don't know, because that crazy runs deep now. That's like a whole, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Lorena Bobberts and the who else? The Jim Jordans and the Matt Gateses. I mean, there just seems to be a whole lot more of them over there. But then, which brings us to somebody else who's trending right now. Crenshaw. That's right. Right here, our guy here in Texas, Dan Crenshaw, is trending. Why is Dan Crenshaw trending? Well, because Dan Crenshaw, the war hero who lost his eye, wears the eye patch. You know him famously. He was mocked on Saturday Night Live, and then a week later, he appeared on Saturday Night Live about the eye thing with Pete Davidson. I think that was the sketch. He's a right wing, loves his guns, Texas congressman, and Dan Crenshaw is done with the lunacy. He is distancing himself now from the whole Trump thing, from the MAGA thing, and he's calling out the people in his party who are just not serious people. And it's a bit of a shot. Look, this is Dan Crenshaw is exactly the kind of politician that I am welcoming back. People that I am not supposed to agree with everything. When did we ever love everything about our politicians? No, it's like the lesser of a few evils. It's like, oh yeah, that guy does seem like a piece of shit, but you know what? I agree with them on this. And I grew up in a house where there was all kinds of diehard Democrat grandparents and grandma who were totally cool with Republicans. They didn't hate Bob Dole, they didn't hate Ronald Reagan or George Bush. There was like, yeah, he's okay. He's an okay guy. I could vote for him. And that's kind of what Dan Crenshaw seems to be trying to get to. Dan Crenshaw to his fellow conservatives. Come correct, is what he says. The combat veteran often voted with Donald Trump, but doesn't act Trumpishly, and he'll slam other Republicans when he feels he must. He voted with Donald Trump most of the time, but isn't a loyalist. He's a stalwart conservative willing to criticize other conservatives. Representative Dan Crenshaw, in short, is a GOP anomaly. In the rolling cauldron of Republican politics, where one perceived misstep can get a lawmaker scorched by the ex-president or the entire right-wing online ecosystem, Crenshaw's candor stands out. He sparked ire on the right earlier this month for comments caught on tape in his home state of Texas that separated his fellow House Republicans into two camps. Performance artists, ones you think are more conservative because they know how to say all the slogans and they can read well, and the actual legislators. So, I mean, I happen to agree with him on this. I think that, he's there's performance artists, the Boberts and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Gateses. Crenshaw, the 37-year-old former Navy SEAL, also challenged a perception about the party that most other Republicans don't want to hear. In the same video, Crenshaw pointed out that Rep. Adam Kinzinger, who was excommunicated from the party for condemning Donald Trump, voted with Trump during the 2017 and 18 sessions more reliably than everyone in the House Freedom Caucus. So Kinzinger, who's on the outs, actually supported the Trump agenda more consistently than everybody in the House. And that's what Crenshaw's saying. He's like, these are not serious people. Anyone who listens to Crenshaw and concludes he's moving away from Trump, I'm not looking for fights here, he says. But if a false narrative is spreading quickly, you have to say something, he told Politico in an interview. I think politics has changed radically, where people want a freewheeling, authentic person. Fine, that's good. And that's certainly what I deliver. But you also need to be thoughtful and correct in what you say. All right, so now there's three of them. You got Dan Crenshaw, you got Adam Kinzinger, and you got Liz Cheney. That's something. We got something. That's something to build on. I don't agree with any of those people on almost anything, but I think we can all work with them. I think that they are the ones who went, yeah, this is nuts. I can only go so far with all this stuff. This is a little bit nut. I respect those guys. Let's see here. What else do we have? Matrix Inception. That is trending. Can I be honest with her? No, not Matrix Inception. Matrix. That does remind me though. Inception. Ugh. All right. So Matrix. There's a new Matrix movie. It's coming out. It's trending everywhere. It's trending on. I'm going to admit something. I didn't like The Matrix. I'm sorry. I am one of these people who, and I've tried to go back. People, The Matrix is like one of the most mind-blowing films of all time. Yeah, is it? Okay. So I've gone back and I've tried to watch it, and I don't get what the hell is going on here. I have Inception, that reminds me. Inception is the same way. That film, Inception. Inception is the greatest film. What they did visually in that is just so stimulating. I've tried to watch Inception number of times. I can't. I'm like, wait, what? What's going on here? Okay. So I'm glad everybody thinks this is the greatest film ever made. Feel the same way about Avatar. Avatar is the greatest film ever made. Remember when Avatar came out? Avatar. I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. I couldn't get past, I don't know. I got like 20 minutes into it and was like, nope. You know why this is? Because we're more discerning now. Back in the day, when we had to put on shoes, get dressed up, deodorant, maybe shower, pull out a wad of cash, get in a car, drive to a movie theater, wait in a line, eat overpriced popcorn, sit with people, strange people. Again, civilized society. Just sit with people. They're talking, they're doing, there's all this thing. And the movie comes on. You've gone through all that bullshit, and now you're watching the movie. I think we were more invested then. Like I never walked out of a movie after going through all of that. If I'm 20 minutes into a movie, I'm staying for the full 2 hours. If it's in a theater, I'm invested. I give it more. But when I'm laying in my bed, and I'm watching a movie and it starts to get a little boring, click, I am out. I don't give it a chance. So I think we are a little bit harder on movies nowadays. Because Lord of the Rings, that's another one. Never got into Lord of the Rings. I just can't. I just can't. And that's weird too, because everybody says, "Oh, Pugs, but you like Game of Thrones and you like Vikings and you like all that." Yeah, I do. I like that stuff. Lord of the Rings. I don't get it. Sorry, I'm a confusing guy. Oh, okay, and we'll end with this one. This is good. Let's see here. Let me see how we can do this properly. Get out of your way. Okay, so 5 best NBA is trending. Why? What does that mean? Well, I don't know. I clicked on it. I was like, okay, let me see here. What are the 5? I'm thinking of the 5 best players, 5 best team, 5 best. No, here's what they did. There was a poll, NBA Europe or the European Basketball, so whatever it was. They had this poll online where they asked Europeans. So this is no, hometown fan vote, bullshit, nothing like that. So they asked a whole bunch of Europeans. They said, all right, we want you to pick the 5 greatest NBA jerseys of all time. So these are European. These are European players, European basketball fans, global basketball writers, and coaches and front office people. So they did this big poll over there in Europe, and they came up with the 5 best. And this is what the Europeans think are the 5 best uniforms in NBA history, jerseys, tops. All right, so we'll start out with number 5. The number coming in at number 5, the 5th best uniform jersey ever worn in the NBA, according to a bunch of European people, the 1985 and 86 Boston Celtics jersey. Number 5, Boston Celtics. Number 4, the 1996-97 Los Angeles Lakers jersey. So that's Celtics, Lakers. 3, the 2000-2001 Philadelphia 76ers jersey. I don't even remember that jersey. I remember the other one. I don't know what's so special about the Philadelphia 76ers jersey in 2000-2001. Number 2, the 1995-1996 Chicago Bulls jersey. And the number 1 rated jersey of all time, according to the Europeans. You ready for this? And I think they're trolling us. The 1998-99 Toronto Raptors jersey. That's number 1. That came in number 1. The 1998-1999 Toronto Raptors jersey. Now, do you know this jersey? This was the jersey with the cartoon Tyrannosaurus on it. Which, I mean, I'll show it to you, folks. I don't know how great it is. It seems kind of silly, actually. And here's the other thing. I don't think there we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. I don't think that the Europeans wanted to give it to an American city. So they gave it to Toronto because, they don't want to give it to us. Screw us. We think we're so cool. All right, here's what it looks like. So there you go. Make that bigger. See, there it is. All right, is that on? Yeah. All right, so that's voted by the Europeans. They said that's the absolute best jersey of all time. The one with the little, I don't know, whatever. There you have it. But I think it's 100% because they got together and they said, well, the first one can't be in America, right? So what teams do we have to choose from? Like, well, you got Toronto. Okay. So before the list even started, they said, we're going to give number 1 to a team from Toronto. So just pull up all the jersey combinations Toronto's ever had, because one of those is going to be number 1. And of course, the rest were the likely suspects. The Celtics. Hold on. The likely. Isn't that weird? I accidentally pulled up my YouTube page. The likely suspects. The Boston Celtics, classic jersey. LA Lakers, classic jersey. Philadelphia 76ers, classic jersey. Chicago Bulls, classic jersey. Those are the ones you would expect. But the Toronto Raptors, the best jersey in the world? I don't know about that. All right, we're going to wrap up today's show here. Sorry about the interruption. I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad we were able to come back. Tonight, pillow talk. I don't know that there'll be a pillow talk again tonight, because remember, I got my kid and we're doing Christmas stuff all this week. I do not have him tomorrow. So pillow talks will resume, in their normal fashion, starting on Thursday night. because I give him back Thursday afternoon. So we will do a high noon show tomorrow. No pillow talk tonight. High noon show tomorrow, and then tomorrow there will be the return of the pillow talk, and we'll see who we have with us. And then I'm going to continue doing stuff through Christmas. I may even do a Christmas. I think I'm going to do something on Christmas. I got to figure out what the best time is. Like, what time would people Christmas night? Should we do something like a pillow talk Christmas night? Or yeah, because nobody's going to be like hanging out during the day. So maybe we'll figure it out. We'll find out. Well, also, hey, are you going to join me for Pugs New Year's Rockin' Eve? I got plans. I want to do a New Year's show. I don't know. It's gonna be lame because I'm lame. But I'm thinking we might do something fun for New Year's Eve. I got some ideas. I got people we can reach out to, and we can just watch whatever happens. Yeah, I don't know. They can even do New Year's Eve. Isn't New York got like that old thing? You can't be anywhere. Isn't that New York's rule right now? Can't be anywhere. So I don't know if they're doing the big ball drop thing. I'm sure we are here in Dallas. I'm sure that there's no interruption here. Most cities probably going to be fine. All right. Yeah, Pillow Talk Christmas, April. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go hang out with my kid. We're going to do Christmas stuff. We're going to get halal guys for dinner. That says he loves halal guys. Can I have one last Christmas wish? Yeah, what do you want? Can we get halal guys for dinner? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just do it. He's easy. He's awesome. Not that difficult. And last time we went to a nice dinner. So, but that was Uncle E's treat. Uncle E, like the master of the 1% compound. He just took us all out to just come on. We're gonna have a Christmas dinner. Everybody come. That was wonderful. Oh, we had a good time. What else? Oh yeah, you can support the show. There you go. I put a thing on Facebook. It didn't get much, but thank you to the people who were able to give $5 here, $20 from April. Oh, I don't want to give it away. Carlos, yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Every little bit helps. I know Christmas is a rough time for something as stupid as this to be asking you for help, because there are real people who have real needs and you can do nice things. So, weigh that like that. But if you can, hey man, we'd love a little something in our tip jar. All right, I got nothing else. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another telling you, I can produce this up. The best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. Whoa. I can smile. It's too easy. All right, bye everybody. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.